Hey there, how are you today? I'm Connie Foote with Foote Title Group, where we protect your home ownership. And this is Coffee with Connie. Welcome. Thank you so much for your time today. Hope everybody's having a great start to your day. I know here in the East Coast the weather's a lot wacky, and so interested to see what you're dealing with where you are. Reach out and let me know what's going on there. I'd love to talk to you guys, and I try to come and talk to you at least 2 times a week. Coffee with Connie, where we go over either some stories or some things that are actually happening in our industry right now, or maybe in our particular office, or some things that we see going on that maybe can be a benefit to you. The other thing that I also do is I have a lot of information that we've experienced that I like to share with you as well. So sometimes I have some scripted things that we talk about. Sometimes it's some things that I just see going on in the market that we talk about. The one thing I do want to say to you is not everything that we talk about are things that we deal with directly. It may be some things that we see outside of our particular niche area. As for example, on Tuesday we talked a little bit about taxes and saving money by using some deductions that you can use from your owning a home or owning a second home or a piece of property, some of those deductions that might be available to you. And I do want to qualify by saying not everything we talk about I'm a specific expert on. What I like to do is give you information to make you ask questions, to let you know that there are some possibilities and some information out there, and to enable you to, with the information you need, to be able to ask questions and get the right answers that you need to protect you. So today I want to talk a little bit about security, your privacy, how all those things affect your home closing, because we have a lot of information that comes through the title company, and I want you to understand at least what we as Foote Title Group do to handle all of that information for you. So I am very passionate about making sure that not only you understand the process, that your home closing is a comfortable, happy experience for you, and a experience where you can feel confident that things are taken care of properly. But we also, behind the scenes, are very passionate about making sure that your information is secure. So one of the things that we do, and I wanted to talk about with you, is go through some steps and explain to you some processes that we have that actually matter, so you can feel that comfort level and you can understand that we take the time to put these things in place. Hey Pandora, how are you today? So the first thing I wanted to talk about with you guys is about 1.5 years ago, almost 2 years ago, some federal regulations changed after the housing crisis, and it caused everybody in our industry to, well, tell Tristan I said hi too. Hey Becky, how are ya? So a 1.5 years ago, some things changed in our industry because of the housing crisis that caused all of us to step back and make sure that all of our processes were in place. And what you'll find is that most companies that have been around for a long time have a lot of good procedures and step-by-step things that they take care of and that they do to make sure that your information is secure. Unfortunately, there's a lot of companies that and most of these probably aren't around anymore or don't do a whole lot of business, that maybe didn't have some really good procedures. Or there's some really good companies that just didn't have those procedures written down in a step-by-step process, so that all of their team members could make sure that things were taken care of. And so what I wanted to do today is just talk to you for a few minutes about all the information that comes through our agency and how we actually deal with it. And this may or may not be true with the company that you deal with, but I wanted to point some of this out because there's a lot of your information that's out there, and particularly in today's world where we're all hypersensitive about our information getting out into someone else's hands, and validly so, we want to make sure that your information is very well protected. So here at Foote Title Group, a couple of things just to let you understand what we're very passionate about keeping your privacy straight is, first of all, we are very specific about making sure we practice a clean desk policy. And what that means is whenever one of our team members is working on a file, that's the only file on their desk, and when they step away from that desk, that any information on their desk actually is put away and locked up. And so what that means is if say for example, one of our closing coordinators that maybe sits at the front desk is working on a particular file. Maybe they're going through and reviewing the title work, and they're actually inputting all the information, and someone comes into the office, the FedEx guy, a salesperson. That team member actually puts away your personal information so that no one can look over that desk and see your personal information or see any of the information on the property you're buying, the property you're selling, the title work to that property. That information's put away so that nobody can see that. And that also goes true for if somebody gets up and walks away from their desk, one of our team members, they put away all of your personal information so that if anybody else happens to be walking around, let's say that there's a closing going on and one of the realtors or the lender or one of the purchasers or sellers needs to walk back into our office, that way we make sure that that person's information is put away and secure that happens to be being worked on. So we make sure that no one can see your information on one of our team members' desks if they're not sitting there and they haven't determined that the person that they're working with is sitting across from them is the person's file that's there. So we always practice a clean desk policy, so when people get up and walk away from their desks, there is no file or no personal information of any of our purchasers or sellers or realtors or lenders for that matter anywhere on anybody's desk. So we practice that every day on every single file with every step that we make. One of the other things that we do is, as most of you know, we've launched a new website, and we have all kinds of really good resources on our website. And you can register for things, and you can go on there and log into our title calculator and calculate closing costs and those types of things that you need for your home closing. And our website is very secure. People can't go on there and capture your information, and any information we get from you to be able to reach out to you is very secure as well. So we've gone through some very specific protocols to make sure that that happens. We also do, after closing, we upload your documents to a secure cloud site so you can get to them from anywhere. And we have a partnership with a company that we have vetted very well to make sure that their security is in place and all of your personal information is protected there as well. Hey Tony, how are you today? Thanks for tuning in. We do, I don't think a lot of teams do this, but I know we've put a lot of this information out there, but we do monthly team meetings and monthly training. And the reason we do that is because things change in our industry all the time, like daily. We see different kinds of files with different kinds of nuances, different concerns that we need to deal with, maybe changes that are happening in the industry. But one of the biggest things we see is the uprising of cybercrime and the ability for people to pull information online. And what that does is it allows the people that are doing things the wrong way to try to get ahead of us, to try to come up with new ways. You know, we all know and have heard sort of jokingly, but it's somewhat true, about the person that sits in their basement in their pajamas on their computer. They're sitting there trying to figure out how to hack all these personal information sites, credit card sites, sales sites. Well, they're also doing it with title companies, because title companies have a lot of information stored in their databases about customers, their personal information, their private contact information, and in some cases, and most of this is previous to a lot of this cyber attack, but private social security numbers, contact information, all of those things. Now, no longer do we even scan any of that information in. That's all shredded as soon as the closing is over with. And we upload information to that secure site that I told you about in the cloud, but not one piece of paper has a social security number or any of your personal financial information on it. And for that reason, we do that because we want to make sure that somebody can't hack into that. So that's an extra level of security that we don't do, and then we double shred everything as soon as we get everything back to your mortgage company. So that's a level of security that we do. And then I was talking about team meetings and team training because as the crooks get smarter, we need to make sure we stay on top of that. So I get all kinds of literature and information about things that have changed in the industry or new threats that have happened, and we talk about those regularly because we want to make sure that our information is always secure. If your title company asks you for something specific because they feel as though they want to make sure that you're protected from a cybersecurity hack through their their channels, that's something that you need to pay attention to. They're not trying to make your life more difficult. And one of the things that we've done is now we require that any of the funds you need for closing, you actually wire them to us. And the reason for that is because the crooks have figured out how to be smarter than us and try to reproduce checks that really look like a bank check. And in reality, it's not a bank check. We go to cash it and it's no good. And funds have already transferred hands. So that's one of the reasons we require wires now. Sounds like it might make it a little more difficult for you as a purchaser or a seller that needs to bring funds to the table. But again, it's another level of security to protect you and to protect us. Some of the other things we see are fraudulent power of attorneys, people signing documents that aren't actually the individuals that are on those ownership chains. So all of these things are things we talk about monthly in our team meetings. We talk about good things, great things that are going on in our company, but we also talk about things that we're seeing changing in the industry. And it may be that one of our team members experienced something in a closing that the other ones don't know about yet. So we do trainings on all of the latest updated information. And we also talk about it monthly about the experiences that we're having. So I'm very passionate about that because I want to make sure that everybody's on the same page all the time about changes and things that are going on and things that we're seeing that maybe could help each other. So that we do every month. And all of this, in all of these different things that we're working on to keep your information secure is because there's so much money and so much information that funnels through a title company that we want to make sure that we're always on top of making sure that your pieces and your information all get to the right place and that someone else who doesn't deserve to have that information or shouldn't be having that information can't get to it. So the only other thing I really wanted to talk to you about with regard to all of this protection and security is if you are selling a piece of property or if you do need to wire information to us, we're going to call and confirm that information with you. And the reason we're going to call is because, as we all know, and we are seeing more and more and more emails being hacked. So if your company that you're working with, whether it's the title company, the realtor, or the lender, calls you and confirms an email that you sent, don't be discouraged or frustrated because you're having to do things more than once. Be happy and comfortable and secure in the fact that they're following up. One of the things that our team is very specific about doing is whenever we receive any kind of instructions from anyone in the transaction, we call and confirm that information because it's one more level of trying to make sure that everything's in the right place. So hopefully this told you guys a little bit about what some of the things we do behind the scenes to make sure that your information and your privacy is protected and secured. But we you know, a lot of companies do this, and a lot of companies are very on top of it. Unfortunately, a lot of us are really bad about telling you what we do, and so that's what Coffee with Connie is all about, is to try to tell you guys twice a week different things that we see going on in the industry. So hopefully help you understand a little bit better what we do and why it's so important for you to choose who does your home closing. As I've said to you before, you have the right as a purchaser to choose who does your home closing, and it really matters who does that because not all title companies are created equal, and a lot of your personal information and your finances goes through that company. So hopefully I helped you a little bit today. Hopefully you guys are having an awesome Thursday. I love talking to you. And if you have questions, comments, concerns, please message me individually if you don't want to do it in the group, or reach out to me. All of our contact information is on our website, www.foottetitlegroup.com. There's all kinds of links to good information on there that could help you answer questions, our blogs, the videos, previous videos I've done. All those links are on there. There's a home buyer's guide, a home seller's guide. There's a planning your move checklist. There's all kinds of resources on there that could be really helpful. And the thing that we launched most recently is our Welcome Home Guide. So if you are new to the King George, Westmoreland, Virginia area, or the Southern Maryland area, there are guides that you can go on and download directly. You have to register so we can make sure we keep that updated for you with all the information. But once you register, you'll get all kinds of the HOA guide from us, other resources that we have going on when their new ones are launched. But the Welcome Home Guide is on there now. It went live February 1st, so go on and download that. If you're a realtor and you want a hard copy book, or if you are an individual and you want a hard copy book, those are available as well. Just reach out to us and let us know. So hopefully I gave you some good information today. Hope you guys have an awesome Thursday. I look forward to talking to you again soon. I'm Connie Foote with Foote Title Group, where we protect your home ownership. And this is Coffee with Connie. Have a great day, guys.